Dragonzord vs Mechagodzilla. Let's do this, man. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers was a massive part of my childhood, and naturally, the Green Ranger was my favourite one, so I'm going full Dragonzord with today's video. And there's also another reason why. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, I'm not going to pretend I don't know much about Mechagodzilla, to be honest. Now, I do like Godzilla, but I'm not like a massive fanboy, and all the other monsters and stuff, I'm not super clued up, should we say. So I'm purely going with Dragonzord from a fanboy perspective. He's totally gonna lose. 3, 2, 1, go! Rooster Teeth. Let's do this.
Whether they are benevolent deities or harbingers of doom, dragons
Don't
are freaking
talk to me
awesome.
about
Hell
season
yeah,
8 of Game of
especially
Thrones.
the robot kind, like the Dragonzord,
Yes.
piloted by the
There he
Green
is.
Power Ranger.
And Kiru, the dangerous and mysterious Mechagodzilla.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Who are we starting with?
After being stuck in a
Okay.
garbage can for 10,000 years, the evil Rita Repulsa was
Rita.
understandably pretty pissed. So, she decided to destroy the world. Hey, I'd be
The
mad
whole
too.
Green
but that's a
Ranger
hell of a hot
episodes were the
And
sickest
so
ones,
Earth's
man.
guardian, Zordon, put a plan into motion.
Tommy,
5
where is
heroic
he?
teenagers would defend the planet with their Dinozords. They were the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
You'd think a bunch of kids in spandex would have a tough time fighting an ancient witch, but they got used to taking out her weekly monsters pretty quick. Like a normal 9 to 5, just with giant robots.
But Rita had a plan. If her creatures could not defeat the heroes, she would create her own ranger.
The
Yes!
Green Ranger, along
Jason
with
David
his
Frank,
robo-reptile,
aka
the,
the Master.
Dragonzord.
Beep, 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 beep. I would love to have a Dragonzord. I just leave it on my driveway, parked up, standing there.
At 90 meters tall and nearly 200 tons, the Dragonzord proved a
like
match
them.
for the other Rangers, even their Megazord.
Dragonzord's got a heavy-duty arsenal, like finger missiles.
Yeah,
It's
the-
like flicking the
the
gun
finger
from
missiles
under your
are just the
nails at
sickest thing
people,
ever, man.
but it explodes.
And the
Why do you have
tail.
gunk under your fingers?
To flick at people. Duh. That fin isn't just a cool headpiece, it shoots energy waves. And if D-Zord feels like stomping around, watch out for literally shocking earthquakes.
Despite such long-range weaponry, the Dragonzord seems best suited to fighting up close
Yeah.
with its strong grappling arms and
Mate.
highly flexible drill tail.
That tail is
This
so
drill
sick.
is so impressive. It cut through a cocoon prison even the supposedly superior Megazord couldn't escape.
Yeah, that thing's 5 Zords in one. Guess teamwork doesn't always make the dream work.
The Dragonzord's pilot has even bested the other Rangers in combat on his own. Luckily,
mess
they
with the
helped
Green
him break
Ranger, man.
free from Rita's control, and he eagerly joined their fight against the forces of evil. This is Tommy Oliver.
Tommy wasn't just some rando off the street. This guy is an expert martial artist and super dedicated to ranger work. So much so, he kept wearing the tights for years
Yeah.
and even mentored
Yeah, man.
other teams.
Oh,
he
that
summons and
episode's so
controls the Dragonzord with the Dragon Dagger by playing it like a flute. Wait,
Oh, I thought I was going to do it
all
again. I was
knives
going to have it.
secretly flutes?
They've never, not been flutes.
Oh my god, really? Wait a minute, why didn't this come up in poultry science class?
Chickens don't like music?
How stupid do you think I am? Chickens love music! Ah! God, this is what they mean by a sharp note!
As the Green Ranger, Tommy draws power from a universe-spanning energy called the Morphin Grid.
His grid connection powers the Dragonzord too. He's a superhero
I've
and
got
a
a
battery.
feeling that
Though like
Tommy
most other
is going to be
Zords,
a
enough
reason
damage
why
can
he's gonna
disrupt the
lose.
Dragonzord's connection to the Morphin
I don't
Grid
know why.
and take it down for good.
But good luck trying. The Dragonzord is super strong. It made short work of Rita's monsters
I hope
and
he
even beat the
wins, because
Megazord,
the
which has an
fanboy
average
is
power output
on
of
full
50,000
power right now.
megavolts. That's the same kind of power as a nuclear warhead.
The Megazord was strong enough to punch a 10,000-ton monster about 40 meters off the ground. A punch worth 90 million newtons of force.
The Big D can even fly
That
past
is so
escape
sick.
velocity and reach the moon. That's
Yo.
over 30 times the speed of sound.
The Dragonzord is also extremely durable, possibly more so than any other individual Zord of its generation. The Megazord once threw it into this mountain, which shattered. By comparing the known size of Dragonzord's foot to
Oh,
said
they're gonna
mountain
work
and
out.
applying the energy
The
necessary
mountain.
for violent fragmentation against rock,
Oh,
we
man, I
determined the
love that
destructive
battle.
force to be worth more than 350 tons
That
of
is
TNT.
ridiculous.
Damn! The big dragon held its own against the
flew to the
upgraded
moon.
Thunder Megazord, and even one-shot the White
I was
Tiger
literally
Zord,
about to read
which was
that.
supposed
Beat
to
White
be its
Tiger
better
Zord
in
with
every
one
way.
strike. Wow.
While it's unlikely the Dragonzord could actually defeat the Thunder Megazord on its own, it certainly stands a chance with its ultimate form.
That's right, it's got a semi-Megazord mode of
Yes.
its own. While each Power Ranger has their own Zord, there's been a few times when a Ranger has called on other Zords, not to pilot directly, just to combine with theirs.
And so, Tommy can summon the Mastodon, Triceratops, and Saber-Tooth
Ooh,
Tiger
that-
Zords to form
This now
Dragonzord
could be a little
Fighting
turning
Mode.
point.
Or Battle Mode. Or Dragon Megazord. He never really settled on a name.
Like I
Well,
said, I
it's
really
mighty
don't know how
powerful
strong.
and turns its tail into a drill
Mechagodzilla's
spear
gonna
that
be,
kills
so-
basically everything in one shot. Seriously, it never
Yeah,
lost
man,
a
just
battle
one
against
shot,
anything
Ed.
Rita
That's
threw
just-
at it.
that's it.
So, why don't they always use that?
And Rita's magic is devastating enough to obliterate an entire floating island.
Sadly, Tommy would lose his control of the Dragonzord when he lost his powers to his one weakness. A magic candle! Oh no! Look out for slowly dripping wax!
But powers or no powers, Tommy kept fighting the good fight, eventually regaining his original Morphin abilities with the Master Morpher. Perhaps one day, the Dragonzord will rise again. Dragonzord!
I love that song so much! Yes! Let's do this, man. Mechagodzilla.
The year was 1954, less than a decade after Japan was bombarded with the first atomic weapons. The nuclear age had begun.
But one of these atomic weapons woke something
Godzilla!
up. Godzilla! This ginormous radioactive kaiju decimated Japan. Things looked pretty bad until a scientist deployed a bomb strong enough to kill the monster. The Oxygen Destroyer, which does exactly what it says on the tin.
Right, Dr. Serizawa's bomb could specifically target and destroy oxygen molecules, liquefying most living tissue. This weapon was so dangerous, Serizawa feared its very existence threatened the entire human race.
So he went down martyr style, taking out Godzilla and all knowledge of his weird bomb. All that remained was Godzilla's bones.
Probably for the best. Still, a weapon like that might have come in handy when, a few decades later, another Godzilla showed up.
Surprise, bitches! Brrr!
Turns out,
That's
Japan had been the target of many different types of kaiju for
Mothra.
years, and had developed an anti-monster defense force to combat them.
Unfortunately, their super powerful maser cannons barely even scratched this new Godzilla. Just look at him. Doesn't even care.
Like the Oxygen Destroyer before, Japan needed a new weapon to combat Godzilla.
Mechagodzilla.
They gathered their foremost experts in the fields of robotics, microwaves, low-temperature physics, and someone whose work can only be described as cyber necromancy. Together, these leading scientists developed a revolutionary weapon like nothing before it.
Mechagodzilla!
Sure, technically this isn't the first Mechagodzilla we've seen, but it's certainly the deadliest and the most unique. So much so, it was given its own distinct name.
Yeah, I don't know much about
Kiru,
it, so...
a combination of kanji meaning machine and dragon.
Hear you? Sounds lame. I'll stick with Mechagodzilla, thank you. Standing 60 meters tall and weighing 40,000
Godzilla's
tons with
bones.
full gear, this badass cyber monster is loaded with all sorts of weapons. Rocket launchers, rail cannons,
bottom there,
grappling
battery life,
wires,
2
spinning
hours.
drill hands, a battering ram jetpack, and even retractable Assassin's Creed blades with an extra zap. And just like Zilla himself,
Mecha
Mecha G
Assassin's
fires
Creed.
laser beams from his
Yes,
mouth.
please.
This twin maser cannon is twice as powerful as the maser guns that successfully killed other non-Godzilla giant monsters.
Kiru is certainly skilled in melee combat and is surprisingly athletic for its size.
Look at it go!
However,
Yo,
with
that
its
was a jump.
enormous arsenal, it is far better suited to long-range strikes. Like with its ultimate weapon, the Absolute Zero Cannon.
What a
Damn.
name, man.
So it's like a super ice beam?
As the name suggests, it unequivocally brings its target's temperature to absolute zero, or 0 Kelvin. But this beam isn't just freezing its target, it's literally destroying all of its existing energy at once. A practically
Oh, dear,
impossible
that is
feat
very
of
strong.
physics. This results in crushing the entire target from within at an atomic level.
Oh
Yo,
my
that is
god.
ridiculous.
Zilla?
Speaking of which, Kiryu is actually built around the skeletal remains of the original Godzilla, giving him all the size and strength of the king of the monsters.
So it's kind of like they're pulling off a robotic Weekend at Bernie's with Old Man Godzilla's bones? Amazing.
Kiryu also utilizes biochemical and molecular-based DNA computers, which are actually based on real-life experimental technology. This infused Godzilla's own DNA to improve operation speeds and give Kiryu subconscious motor control, sort of a simple AI, which lets it perform some limited actions on its own. Exactly like my own Cyber Goose. With the skeleton of a goose and some extra parts I had lying around, I say he's a masterpiece of modern science.
Well, he's got 2 heads now, so do we call him a goose or
I'm
a
still
geese?
unsure who's going to win this
It's a
fight, man.
goose. Just one goose.
But 2
Mechagodzilla,
heads make
that
2
beam
goose,
coming out of his
therefore
chest is
a
no joke.
geese.
It's a goose!
Oh yeah, this version's much better.
Kiryu is piloted by Lieutenant Akane Yashiro, a longtime member of the Anti-Megalosaurus Force, and your standard self-loathing anime protagonist.
She thinks she's worthless because she has no parents and accidentally got some of her friends killed.
I
So
think this
now
might
nobody
even
really
come
likes
down to her versus
which
Tommy,
is,
though.
real bummer.
Who's
But
like,
hey,
who
cheer
controls
up,
him
lady!
better?
You get to
Maybe.
fight
Just a
giant
guess.
lizards with a
Probably
big-ass
wrong.
killer robot, and that's freaking awesome!
Akane doesn't technically pilot from within Kiryu, but
Alright.
rather from a nearby jet plane, the AC-3 White Heron, which can fly over 900 kilometers per hour. Under Akane's control, Kiryu has battled Godzilla several times, and always came out on top.
But plot twist, Akane isn't Mechagodzilla's only pilot. It turns out there's someone else behind the controls. A ghost in the machine. It's the spirit of the original Godzilla.
No way.
Surprise again, bitches!
Yeah, that's
Ghost
it.
robot.
The DNA mind of
I did not
Godzilla
know
can
that.
wrestle the mech from Akane at any point, causing her to lose complete control.
Giving the king another chance to trash
That's pretty
Japan
sick.
again. Always fun.
I was
to
thinking
relive
like
the good old days.
Dragonzord.
So it
could
is
just,
strongly
like,
implied
shoot the
Akane
plane
and
out of the
Kiryu
sky,
came to
but
an understanding of sorts,
like it ain't gonna be
realizing
anything
that they were each shadows of a tragic past struggling to find purpose in life.
Like college roommates.
Regardless of who is steering the ship, Kiryu is an extremely tough machine.
He's lifted and thrown Godzilla around like a sack of potatoes, and this version of the Big G weighed 25,000 tons.
Mate.
Kiryu actually survived being at the epicenter of its own Absolute Zero blast, and multiple direct hits from Godzilla's atomic breath attack.
Which is even strong enough to overpower the Absolute Zero.
Kiryu is even fast enough to dodge the atomic breath, which, based on this instance where an older Mechagodzilla forced the beam into space, likely travels faster than Mach 2 speeds. Kiryu itself
That is
could also fly
ridiculous.
from Alaska to the middle of Russia while carrying another kaiju in just a few minutes. Given how quickly Kiryu's fuel burns in flight, in order to make it, Kiryu was likely flying around Mach 40.
But that's sadly the Mecha Monster's biggest flaw. Its battery
Battery,
life is
man.
worse than the
I'm
goddamn
glad I
Nintendo
read that.
Switch.
At the quick
While the
minute
White
start.
Herons can use microwave tech to recharge Kiryu on the fly, a full charge only runs for about 2 hours at most. And using more intensive features like jet flight and the Absolute Zero cannon drains it much
might just
faster.
run out of battery,
In
man.
fact, just one use of the Absolute Zero drains 40%.
Wow.
But who cares? When he's so badass, he can tear you apart in just a few minutes. With all this power at his metal fingertips, this is
He's
one
very,
epic
very
machine.
strong, but he's
No
got a
man or
lot of, like,
beast stands a
limitations.
chance against the might of Mechagodzilla.
桐生お前にはわかるよねさあそろそろ行こうか
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, I've got a kaiju-sized hunger that only Blue Apron can satisfy.
I said it in my last video. The animators who make this, you guys and girls, are legends. This looks well good. Come on, Dragonzord!
Ah, nice work, Dragonzord.
Yeah!
Let's crush this tin can.
Yes! The pipe in his neck, mate. Mouth sword.
目標確認総称は警備慎重に行こう
true action. Yo, he's gonna use that battery up, man. Yeah.
倒れてる今がチャンスアブソリュートゼロ起動
Yo, she's going full power straight away, man. No messing around.
Oh no, you don't.
持ちこたえてキル
Deacon it
今
off.
行く
The animation is so good, man. I need finger missiles on my fingers.
キルお前だけが頼りよ
That's what I thought was going to happen. Now Godzilla's coming on it. Spirit. This looks so good! Yo, Dragonzord is getting battered right now. What is going on?
This isn't working. We need more power.
Oh yeah, forgot all about it. Yeah, no, it might be game over now, boys and girls. Come on!
Come together.
Oh, I look so sick.
Buddy mode. Powered up
Let's
and
do
ready for
this.
action. Let's finish this.
The one-shot kill slap. He missed. That is the biggest sword I've ever seen. This looks so good. This could be it. No way, he jumped. That's it, finito. Must be.
Keep going. We've got this.
No!
Oh no. Pull back. Pull back.
No! What have you done? Tommy, you've just messed it right up, mate. No! Gutted, boys and girls. Absolutely gutted. He annihilated him. Got a massive hole in him, man.
KO.
Oh man,
That was
talk
so
about
good,
a close
man.
one.
Finding the victor here wasn't easy. Both have performed amazing feats of strength and durability, and both wielded massive arsenals of unbelievable devastation.
Akane definitely proved herself fighting Godzilla a few times, though Tommy did have way more experience piloting mechs and fighting monsters for years and years.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
true.
he's a freaking superhero.
But while skill and experience are incredibly important, it doesn't always triumph over raw power.
That's what she said. I hope.
Compared to Kiru, the Dragonzord was rather lightweight, with far less impressive feats of strength.
Yeah, well, Dragonzord could match the Megazord, who could lift a 10,000-ton monster. Mechagodzilla tossed around a 25,000-ton
Yeah, no, that
Godzilla,
is-
more than double the weight.
Yeah, that is-
Mecha G
yeah.
certainly had the
Do the
advantage
maths,
up
that's
close.
ridiculous.
And also from a distance. Kiru's arsenal was overall better suited to long-range combat thanks to a wider assortment of missile and beam weapons. Simply put, Kiru possessed more options for controlling and ending this fight.
Like how they both had instant kill moves, but only one of those depended on getting right up close. Plus, while fighting mode's max power wasn't too clear, it could compete with the Thunder Megazord and Rita herself.
Remember how Rita blew up an island? Easily one of the most impressive destruction feats in the Ranger's early years. Based on this image, we can measure the exact scale of the island.
I
To
love
blow
when they
that
do the
shit
maths.
up, you'd
I
need
love
a
it.
blast of at least 2.6 gigatons of TNT. So Dragonzord's Ultra Drill Stab was likely in the same ballpark in terms of power output.
However, this pales in comparison to the Absolute Zero Cannon. Here, it's destroying the real-life Prince Hotel new tower and several surrounding buildings.
What it done,
Using the known
that is
scale
some-
of these
is incredible.
structures, the energy output to destroy them must equal 128
I love
teratons of
when they do the
TNT.
maths.
That's
I love it so
over
much.
49,000
It's always just
times
so
more
insane.
powerful. And don't forget, Mechagodzilla once survived being in the middle of this blast.
Yeah, that is
There was
true.
no way Dragonzord could put down this tough son of a Zilla.
Dragonzord's arsenal and Tommy's skills certainly made this an intense
That's
match,
what I thought was
but
gonna
they were
win, man.
clearly
Tommy
outclassed by
actually,
Kiru's
like,
awesome
sold him.
power and unwavering durability.
I'm just glad they didn't let the fight drag on.
The winner is Kiru.
Mechagodzilla!
Well done, Mechagodzilla. Well done, and
Hey, thanks
massive,
for watching
massive
this episode.
love
If you want the
to Death Battle. My precious Dragonzord was annihilated. I really enjoy the episodes where there's something I love going against something that I don't know much about. Regardless of like who wins, I love seeing and learning new characters, new abilities. As always, massive love to Death Battle, man. You guys and girls are legendary. And I gotta admit, right, the animating in that episode was probably one of the best. Now, with that being said, boys and girls, the question of the day. What's your favourite Death Battle episode? Let me know in the comments section below. For me, Dante vs Bayonetta is still my all-time favourite. Hashtag Dante fanboy. As always, thanks for watching, guys. Everybody. You will subscribe.